Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to talk about some of my, well, all of my instant cameras. Instant photography is something I've been quite passionate about for 7 years now. Yeah, I just realised it's been 7 years since I bought my first instant camera, so that's pretty cool. The first camera I got was on a trip to New York. I went to the famous B&H photo store, which is incredible. If you go to New York City and you're interested in photography, videography, technology of all sorts, you must visit B&H. It is, it's like, you know that the treasure trove in Aladdin? It's like that with camera equipment. I remember I did research before I went to New York and I decided that this was the camera that I wanted to buy, and I think it was a bit cheaper out there at the time, and that's why I picked it up then. And it was the Instax Wide 210. Quite a bulky camera, as you can see. It's probably around the same size as my head, and as you can tell by the title, it shoots wide instant photos. So most of the time you might see mini photos. I've got some examples here. So here is the size of an Instax Wide shot, and to compare, I have this photo here of an instant mini shot. So you can see that they are about double the size with the Instax Wide, which does make it really handy. I think you can get some really beautiful wide shots on the wide cameras. However, the size and weight of them are a con. You can definitely tell that you have this camera in your bag when you're carrying it around, whereas with the instant mini cameras, I kind of forget that they're in my bag. It is a shame. I wish they could kind of find a way to develop it so it's not as heavy. I don't know why it's as heavy. I mean, I do have the older model. Another con of shooting on the wide cameras is the price of the film. Instant photography is not cheap, sadly, but the mini film is a lot more affordable in comparison with the wide camera, and that's why I haven't shot as many wide photos recently, but I did buy some more film and I do want to take more photos with this bad boy because it takes really nice photos. The next camera that I bought was, I think, maybe a year or a couple of years after buying the wide camera, when I realised just how little I was using it because of how bulky it was. So I then purchased the Instax Mini 25, which is this little cutie here. As you can tell, it is a lot smaller in comparison with the wide camera. This one's still actually quite heavy, feeling it now. It's funny seeing how they've managed to kind of develop them to be a bit lighter. But yeah, I did enjoy shooting on this camera. It's interesting shooting on the mini film because obviously you have to totally change how you're kind of composing things and remembering that you're not going to be able to get as much in the frame. But these are seriously fun cameras, and obviously they're coming into fashion, like, well, coming back into fashion way more now. So yeah, these are cheap as chips now as well. So if you want like a starter camera for it, or you just want to take random shots and not really think too much about it, one of these is probably the way to go. The next instant camera that I purchased was in 2015, so not too long ago now. It was towards the end of 2015. I bought that because I wanted to take more instant shots, but I wasn't quite happy with the quality that the Mini 25 was giving me. I wanted something that was just a little bit better, and also a camera that I had more control over. With the older models of the Fujifilm Instax cameras, there's not a lot of control you have over how the shot will turn out. It's very much point and shoot, and that is why I liked the look of the Instax Mini 90. You have a lot more creative control over this camera and how it shoots. It also has double exposures, it has a macro mode. It's just, there's way more to it than the older cameras, and it just looks really cool as well. I love the design of this camera. I originally wanted it in, it comes in obviously this black, and then there's a brown kind of leather look as well, and I originally wanted the brown one, but I remember I went to, I think it's Camera World, just off of Oxford Street, and they only had the black one, and I wanted to get it that day. I was desperate to get it, so I went with this one, and I'm actually really happy with it because I think the black version looks a lot better. I love this camera. It's my go-to instant camera. Most of the time it's in my bag, and it's fairly light, so I can't really tell that it's in there. So yeah, this is my favourite instant camera. The next instant camera in my collection is actually one that Fujifilm kindly sent to me. They were doing a marketing campaign last year and it was called the Instax 101 campaign. So I think you just had to like comment on loads of social media stuff, and then they got in contact with me and said, can we send you a camera and you can take a photo and send it back to us? And I was like, yes, of course. I actually made a video on the unboxing of this camera, so you can check that out if you want. I will link it up here. So yeah, this is the Instax Mini 70, which is, I think, only, yeah, one step down from the Mini 90. I only got this last year, in spring, I think. I don't use it as much. My boyfriend, I've very kindly basically gifted this camera and the Mini 25 to him because I've got him into shooting instant photography, which is really fun because obviously we can bulk buy film and make things a bit cheaper, and it's just really nice that he shares this passion with me. Now that the monochrome film is out as well, it's handy to have two instant cameras so you can have monochrome in one and colour film in another. Just makes things a bit easier. I did really enjoy testing out this camera when I first received it and taking some photos on it, but as I said, the Mini 90 is my favourite, and yeah, if I had to shoot on this, it'd be fine. I think this one's got a really great auto mode, so obviously it just judges everything and shoots accordingly, but yeah, I prefer having a bit more control with the 90. And finally, the latest addition to my instant camera collection is from a different company actually. So most of the time it's Fujifilm Instax that create the cameras, but this one is a teensy bit different. It's actually by another film photography company. Sorry for the light, this went really dark. I'm relying on the sun and I don't think it's helped me now. But this is the Lomo Instant Automat in the South Beach edition. I got this at the end of last year, so this is like the newest camera and it's the one I've had the least time to play with. I do really like this camera. I love the design of it. Obviously it looks quite chic and nice, but it is bulkier than the other cameras. Obviously the lens actually sticks out a bit, and I find I'm just a bit too precious with it, and I don't know if it's because it's still a relatively new camera. Yeah, I have mixed opinions on this so far, but it is a pretty camera. It's fun that it's got obviously the lens cap, and this also doubles up as a remote, which is handy. It's just a new system to get used to, which is the same if you change any camera system really. But yeah, I still think I need a bit more time with this camera to fully fall in love with it. The 90 is still my absolute favourite. I also find that as pretty as it is, it's not held up as well. I try not to be too precious with my cameras. If it goes in my bag, it goes in my bag. It might get scratched, it might get stuff like that. And this, because it's got like the holographic bits here or the shinier bits, it has gain scratch marks, and on the like the fabric-y sticker, there are some dents and some marks. This camera has not fared well in my bags, but it has already been on a couple of trips with me. And that's how I kind of like to test my cameras out a bit more, because I take them travelling and like to get travel Instax shots, so it's always a good test to take them away with me. Well, that is my instant camera collection. I realised that was kind of a bit of a whirlwind tour through them. I'd be happy to talk more about the cameras. If you would like to know anything about them, let me know in the comments. Let me know as well if you shoot instant photography, if you've got an instant camera. I know it's coming back into fashion and it seems like everyone nowadays has one, so let me know if you have one. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more from me in the future. I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you very soon. Bye!